A deep breath. Oh, maybe I should pull up the comments
Hello,
so I can see.
Slayers. What's up? It is your girl Tiana, aka the Swagslayer, creator of the Swagslayer Talk, every weekday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for Wednesday, of course, because it's What So Wednesday with myself and Brittany from Brittany All Bossed Up. How is everyone doing today? I am with my lovely co-host Rhonda from the Pink Diva Studios. Be sure to be following her on Instagram and YouTube. Her new show comes out March 10th, so you make sure you have turned on your notifications so you do not miss the show. We are just going to jump into it. We are actually going to be talking about, let me share my screen. I'm going to do the full screen. We are actually going to be talking about what's all over the reseller news and just the regular news nowadays.
Right.
Is the young gentleman who was reselling Nikes. I don't know why I can't get this to go away. On the internet, like he has his own reselling business, but his mom also works at Nike. What I thought was very interesting about this article was she told Nike that her son had that business.
And Nike said, no, go ahead.
2018, by the way. In 2018, it didn't just happen. So they've known about it. And they, I
was confused about that as well. I really was, because she went to them. Now, on her own, she went to them and told them that he had the sneaker business.
Correct.
Nike said that they didn't feel like that was a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
So now, of course, she's high up in the company. She's the VP and general manager
of North America. She ran all of North of America.
Yes. So I think that maybe I don't know if it wasn't a conflict. Maybe Nike felt like, okay, it's not a conflict of interest here, but maybe the conflict came in when he was using her corporate card.
Now, and that was another thing. I did not read anywhere where it said it was her corporate card. It did say it was a card registered to his business with her name, which makes sense. He was 19. He is 19 years old. Right. So it would make sense that for him to have a credit limit of $132,000, it would be somebody who helped him get that credit. But it was registered to his business. She just had to be probably like the co-signer or whatever, so he could have that limit to be able to spend. Like, hello. So
but that is confusing, because I read that it was her corporate card, but in that same article, this is where the confusion kind of, got me, is that if it was her, they say it was her corporate card that he used to fund his resale sneaker business. Okay, but then later on down in the article, it says that he sent the financial statement to a Bloomberg reporter for an Amex corporate card.
Okay.
That has his mom's name on it.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So I'm trying to figure out if it was it because of the fact that she co-signed for him, to get this card, but it was his card.
It's for his business. It was literally business to the business that she communicated to the company. He has a business that does XYZ.
Right. But I was just like, okay, because at first when this came out, we're discussing hot topics today, y'all. But when this came out, I was like, oh, no, ma'am, you didn't use your mom's card to do all this. But then, after further investigation and reading this article, I was slightly still confused. Okay. But when I read that he sent his own financial statement to the Bloomberg reporter for an Amex corporate card that had his mom's name on it. So I'm like, okay, so he applied for this himself.
Right.
But she had, we have to do our kids, we have to co-sign. We have to be the second person on these cards.
Exactly.
So why would you So I'm curious as to why you decided, Ann, because her name is Ann. Why,
Right.
Ann, did you feel like you had to resign when
Well,
when
they
Nike
forced
already
her.
told you?
They forced
But
her.
they
People
already
don't
told her.
resign.
Right. See, not from a BP general manager position of
Of
the
all of
whole North
North
America.
America.
Baby, I was like, okay, so why? Okay, so that's what got me there is that the
This is
resigning.
Ann.
Okay, well, why would you even ask her to leave the company? And you already told her that
It
it
was
wasn't a
okay.
conflict of interest. He
And
applied for his own card. So
the
see, this
crazy
is
part is Nike told like the news outlet. It wasn't like Ann was like, well, Nike told me it was okay. No, Nike said we told her it was okay.
right. But so why are you pushing her out?
Right.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Make it make sense, somebody, because I don't understand it. I don't see why she would have to. Why y'all resign? Why she had to? So I mean, the whole explanation of how the thing went down was her son is 19. His name is Joe.
Yes. And they don't
So
show pictures of Joe. So like they blur his face on all the articles. You have to be following him on Instagram if it's even still active.
And see, these same boxes are the pictures that they were talking about.
Right.
Is that he had all of these pictures of all of these hot Nike sneakers that everybody wanted.
Limited edition,
What he did was he went and he was selling the most expensive shoe, Yeezys. What are they called? I wrote it down. Hold on. The Yeezy Boost 350 Zion sneaker. So now I don't know about y'all, but most of Kanye sneakers are very ugly and shoes are very ugly.
Yes, I agree.
But you know,
they were also mad because he was bragging about the Yeezys here. They were mad because he was bragging about buying a car, buying a BMW with his money. But
that's his money.
For a business that he created. And as you know, okay, yes, she works at Nike. Yes, she's over all of North America. Yes, she probably could have some information. But at the end of the day, there's sneakerheads out here doing this and don't have a relative that work at Nike who are doing the exact same thing he's doing. So I'm just like, bro, I put in 25 years at a company, and now because my son is profitable selling sneakers, what? Okay, Joe Smo down the street.
We do every day. Doing something we do every day, reselling.
Except for he got more capital than most of us.
Right, yeah. So I need him to sponsor me in a few.
Right.
But you know, the thing about it is that that he made it perfectly clear that what her position at Nike had nothing to do with what he had going on. And once Nike, of course, co-signed on that there wasn't a conflict of interest, he said himself, if you know the right people and wherever he's selling, I think they were in Portland. Were they in Portland or something like that? I don't remember. But he said, if you know the right people, you get to have inside information that the other people do not. That runs true for all of us. You pay
for that information.
Right. That runs for all of us. Because if I know somebody and they can give me some information on how to boost this or how to do that, then that comes from who I know. Like the saying goes, that's all in who you know. You can
it's
get
really who knows you, but yes.
Yeah. Who you can get all kind of information. So
and said that he used software, and so there are a lot of sneakerheads, sneaker resellers who use software to Skype those as soon as they hit the website. Nike frowns upon that; they don't want you using software, but it's just like Poshmark says, don't use bots. But how many people do it?
There is a company right here, right now that I know that does that, and what that bot does is it blocks the amount of products you can buy. So in his case, he used it because with those shoes, those Yeezys, you can only buy one pair per person.
Right.
So he used that bot to bypass that and bought 132,000 in
Worth
the
of
Yeezys.
shoes.
So I was just like, okay, but that's fine and good because people do. I'm telling you, there's a company I know that does that. That's how they are. Their company they are because
Right.
they use the bots. I mean,
You
not
have
just
to.
one. They use several to
You
bypass
have
the
to.
limit to go ahead and acquire all of these shoes so that they, you know,
These
they can
right
keep
here,
their inventory fresh.
these right here are $20,000 a pop.
Yes. He resold them. Well, he resold them for $20,000.
Well, it said the ones that he bought. Okay, this part was confusing to me, Rhonda. I read it again and asked my husband to read it because I was like, it must be late. It said he spent $132,000 on the credit card for a $20,000 profit. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
Who
I
spends
thought that
132
too.
for 20,000? I'm like, is it 20,000 a shoe? Something
That's what
is not
I took
adding
from
up.
it. That's what I took from it because I had to read that myself like 3 or 4 times because I said, well, these numbers look off.
Way
Because
off. But nowhere did it say per shoe. It just said $20,000 profit.
Right.
And I was like, he ain't that dumb. So I know he made.
I'm like, surely these numbers do not add up to me. And so I thought, well, were you selling them for $20,000?
I don't know.
But if the shoe, I don't even know how much these shoes are.
I don't. But I also know this. If you're going to spend $132 today and 10 minutes later make $152,000, I would do it too. I mean, you're gonna make $20,000 in less than 24 hours. And basically they were saying as soon as he sold the as soon as he bought them, he basically sold them. So if he only made 20 grand, I'm still not mad at him. Like, you know.
Excuse me. Ooh, look at all the boxes going out. So I'll tell you that those.
Look at this car, because that's what I saw first. When I first saw this picture, I was like, "Oh, what kind of car is that?" I didn't even.
So now I can tell you that those Yeezy Boost 350 are, of course, there are various prices, but because they're through Adidas, so you can get them for as low as $250 on up to $350.
Right, but then how many pairs would he have had to have?
And you could buy a pair. You could buy a pair on eBay for $445.
Right, even at $350, right? Like, so 132,000 divided by 350. That's still only 377 shoes.
I'm trying to really see how much.
And nobody. I mean,
so the retail price for the shoe is actually
any of these shoes.
It's $200. The shoe is $200 for the original and $220 for the V2. So the shoe
is at $220. 132 divided by 220, and we're leaving off tax. That's $600 pair.
That is crazy. I just think the numbers.
I'm always going to help my child in her business. But if I disclose to the company I work for, which I don't work for no company, boo, because I work for me, and you say it's fine, there's no conflict of interest, he can run his business, you can still be the VP, general manager, whatever, of all of North America, because you done put in 25 years.
Right.
It's fine. Like, don't force me out. It's just bad publicity, and Nike doesn't want that. And people to be saying, oh, well, he cheated, he had an upper hand, blah, 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 blah. Because at the end of the day, if his mom didn't work at Nike, she was the VP of North America Toys for Tots or whatever, no one would care. You know what I'm saying?
And I just think, I really don't see, I just think I have a problem with the facts. Now, full disclosure. Now, at first, when I first heard this, I was like, dude, you can do better than this. Why you been using your mama's credit card? That just ain't right. So, that was me hearing it on the news, but then it just stayed with me. So I said, let me look this up because there has to be some more to this story. So now after reading it, I'm still kind of confused because I'm still at the point, my main question still stands is why would she have to resign if Nike told her it wasn't a conflict of interest?
In 2018, it didn't just happen.
Right. I mean, in 2018, she disclosed this. So here we are
and
in
to
the good old
disclose stuff,
2021.
and to disclose stuff at a company, you don't just say, hey, Rhonda, guess what? My son's doing this. No, they make you fill out paperwork. It's in your file. So it wasn't like a random passing by. I just said, hey, this is what's happening. She had to fill out paperwork for that. I promise you.
And I believe that. I believe that. Especially in her position, of course, I totally believe that. Because I think that, I would have seen it as a conflict of interest. So, myself. But I would have also said, well, as long, if she's been at this company for 25 years, it's not like she's just been there a couple of years.
Right.
25 years of her, hard work with this company, and then y'all just kind of force her out due to the fact that her son was making money. Now I tell you, if he hadn't have been flossing and doing all this on Instagram, maybe,
But at the end of the day, I agree with that. We all post on Instagram. We post whatever we're comfortable sharing. There's a hater everywhere. And it could have, we don't know the scenario. It could have been somebody who didn't like her at work, who just wanted her out, who wanted her position and was like, dang, I can't get there until she's gone. So you circumvent and try to find some petty way to get her out the door so you could go next. Or some kid who was like, I can't get all of this like he can, whiny cry to their parents. And they was like, well, let me try to find out a way to try to, and then now they're like, oh, let me uncover all this stuff when it really wasn't anything to uncover. Like I said, I really just think it was bad publicity is what they felt. And so they said that she had to go because of that. But at the end of the day, they were upfront and honest. If Nike had said in 2018, hey, this is not okay, you can't do this, I'm sure they would have done something different so he could still have his own business. But he's 19. Like, they're 40, 50-year-olds posting and flossing stuff on the internet. He's 19. That's what they do. They're like, yes, hello, they're the social media, generation. Of course, he's going to post everything.
And you can also look at this picture like, it could be like he just all out here like, oh, what I got, that what I got. But really and truly, this could be looked upon as a marketing pick as well, because, this is the availability I have. Hit me up, let's make a deal, however you want to look at it. Because in a way, I look at it both ways. I'm like, oh, he out here, like my mama used to say, flow showing. And, but at the same time, I look at it like, well, he got an abundance. So, maybe if I want me a couple of pair, I need to go on and hit him up. So, I just think that, I agree fully with you. He's a kid, and that's what teens do. That's what teens do. Now, I will say this. I will approve this picture right here, because at least he's making money. At least he has his own business. He's not out here posting something stupid with AKs and all the other illegal items that shouldn't be on Instagram in the first place, or you're stupid enough to post on there. At least I can go get with this picture, because it to me it's just a positive picture. I mean, this is my business. This is what I got. Hit me up. So that's what I get from that.
And it's just I guess a frustration, because we don't know the whole story. We don't know.
Right.
But the person I do know, the person I do know is like, Nike said it was cool, go for it. Her son can do whatever. As a child, you can't get your own credit limit. So your mom helps your business, because it's in your business name, to get the credit card. Like, what else should they have done? Who else was going to give him a credit limit like that, like for his business? Like, that's what parents do. And so many people are not fortunate, one, to have parents who even see a vision, two, to have parents, let's just start there, three, to have parents who have enough money to back your vision when they believe in it. And it's just like, wow, because she didn't put in 25 years. She got to one of the higher positions, and now she does have to step down. And what I hope she gets to do is work with her son or something else she enjoys doing, because he's 19, he is a grown up, but he ain't grown, he ain't married with kids off in his own house. They still can kick it together and do things. And I want to just say, like, the moral of the story is you always have to pay attention and be prepared, because there is a hater around every corner. There's a hater right next to you. There's a hater in your little group that is saying they're cheering you on, but somewhere inside of them, they have a problem and they're festering hatred and envy for what you have going on and what you're doing. So you just have to be prepared for it. No one's saying, hi, tuck your tail, don't show off what you have going on. But the more you show, the more people envy that. You're going to have your cheerleaders who are going to be like, yes, you do a big thing. You're encouraging me. I'm so excited. But there's always going to be one. I mean, look at Jesus. Judas Iscariot was right there with all the 12 disciples. And he was the one who was like, no. So, I mean, if it's happening, that's going to happen.
All people.
Yes.
But, I just hope that, she can, and I'm sure she will. I'm sure she'll rise above this. But I was kind of paying attention to what Terry was saying about taking them to court, because I'm wondering if you said it was cool in 2018 that it was cool to do. It wasn't a conflict of interest. See, the word's conflict of interest. Right. If you said there was no conflict of interest, you didn't see one or whatever. Now, what helped you to see the conflict of interest here in 2021?
But even if you saw it, like usually a job is like verbal warning,
right?
Written warning, final warning, termination. Like there's a process here. So
there is a process. And if I've been working for you for 25 years, doing my job, never had a problem, never had an issue, then why couldn't you feel like you could have called me on the carpet and let's talk about this? Let's talk about this, and then tell me, and then let me know, well, I think that we might have a little issue here. Let's see if we can resolve it in some way, because you should have given her a chance to you should have done her better than this.
And maybe they did. Maybe this was her final warning. We don't know, because, children don't listen. I don't care how good your child is. They bad, okay?
Right, right.
They don't listen.
Sometimes they get grown and still don't listen. Trust me on that.
Because they still children. I don't care how old you are, child. You finna do some children stuff. How about that?
That is so true, child. I mean,
maybe she got the warning. He can't use that card to make big purchases, and she told him, and he disregarded it. Like, we don't know. We don't have the whole story.
Yeah, because there are some pieces missing that we just really don't know. I mean, because if he even to come into using the bots, he is not the only one that does that for sneakers. Like I said, there's a large company that does that. I'm not calling no names, but there's a large company I can't call no names, because then I have to say allegedly. But I'm not going to say allegedly, because I already know, and it's already kind of obvious, that's what they do. But that's their business.
If Christy is saying that she was a good child, that means she was the absolute opposite of perfect angel. I just want to point that out.
Christy, listen. She said the perfect angel, honey.
Girl, stop. She was Damien in this piece. Watch. That's when they were like, oh, I was good. No.
Oh my God. But I just thought that this was an interesting hot topic, because for one, like I said, I was just thrown by, I just put him under the bus. Like, dude, you could do better than this. Why are you leaving a paper trail? Why are you doing this, that, and the other? But, when you get down to reading it, and then how he went, it seems like he went about things like anybody else. I mean, he applied for the credit. He sent the financial statements. All this, that, and the other. So, I mean, for me, I think he was on a good road to his business. I hope he remains successful. And then, like you said, maybe his mom, she can, back him doing some other things now that she's free from Nike and they wishy-washy tails, because it's cool in 2018, but we here in 2021, and we ain't about to have that.
We ain't about that life.
Yeah, we ain't about that life. We ain't gonna let you have this. But again, I don't think it was, I just can't. I think that someone presented this to them and blew this up. Someone, I think that this IG had a lot to do with it. Somebody just, ran with it.
It's just a hater everywhere. Because think about it. I'm keeping y'all up to date on my Amazon life. I posted my numbers for my first week. right? How many times do you think I'm going to post numbers? Because I'm already having issues with the numbers I already posted. And those weren't even big numbers compared to the world. Like that was not a big thing. This ad is driving me crazy right now. So how many more times am I going to continue to post my numbers if people are going to act in a way that's not appropriate? Like, if you don't like what I'm doing, there's an unfollow block button. Hit it. No problem. If it's frustrating you that you're not doing what I'm doing, do it. Because I tell you where to get all the information. I tell you who to talk to. I'm not stopping you. So I can only imagine on his level the kind of ridiculousness that he gets.
And he's just 19. So, this could have been an adult who was hating. Who was hating. You just never know. And I tell you that sometimes I kind of get when people don't want to mention things.
Yes.
I kind of get that within the reselling business when some people don't want to mention certain things. But, and that's fine. Honey, that is strictly your prerogative. But I don't like the hateration that comes with it because, then you blow it up into something. Honey, it doesn't even have to be all that. You don't have to attack anybody about it. You don't have to do all this.
Why don't you come and why don't you get in the yacht with us? There's more than enough room in the yacht. And then once you learn what to do, buy your own yacht and we'll be right next to each other.
Yes.
Like, hello, like it's more than enough for everyone. Your journey may not look like my journey, but our bank accounts can look real similar. That's all I'm trying to say.
And that's the truth. And that's what I think people need to learn is that, again, I say it all the time, we all can eat, baby.
Yes.
We all can eat.
Yes.
You can buy the table. You can buy the chairs. If you can buy the table and can't buy the chairs, bring a folding chair. Sit down and learn something.
Yes.
Because we all can be prosperous. But of course, my energy might be this, and my energy might be up here.
Right.
Your energy down here. You need to elevate that energy.
Right.
And focus on, because again, like I always say, where your focus is, that's where your growth is.
It is. And even in our group, I so appreciate the group because I keep telling y'all, look, I'm trying to call you. Matter of fact, I'm not even trying to call you. I'm trying to have my assistant call your assistant and schedule when our jets are going to meet up. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Right. And because I want everybody to win, especially if you in my circle, I want everybody to win. But particularly if you're in my circle, I want you to win big time.
Yes.
I mean, if you win before me, that's all fine and good. I'm gonna celebrate with you. I don't care. I want you to win.
Know what, though?
Either way.
If you win before me, I've been cheering you on the whole time. If I win before you, you've been cheering me on the whole time. That means I got venture capital to back your idea. Hello.
Hallelujah. Somebody.
Thank you.
Say it for the people in the back. Say it for the people in the back. Because that's what's up. And I've said this so many times that as entrepreneurs, not just resellers, as entrepreneurs, once we reach a certain level, once we hone our skill, that's when you need to reach back and pick up somebody who just started. Somebody who needs to know these things, somebody who needs the guidance. That's what helping others is all about.
Right.
Because I don't know. I mean, I'm just embarking on this whole Vendu experience. I pulled that thing up and I swear it said won't to me because I didn't understand nothing. But I reached out and to Splendor Lily Posh, who's going to just kind of help me out. So I appreciate that. But I tell you, I'm open to, if I can help you, I will. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out.
Right.
I'll do
we'll find it together.
Yeah. We can look at it and I'm like, here, you look over here, I'll look over here. Let's meet in the middle later and discuss it.
Right.
But, I just think that, there's just so much, I can even go back to like when I first started reselling. Now, granted, I had my good friend who, helped me out. There's a lot that she really didn't know. So, of course, I ended up positioning myself in a place where there were more experienced resellers.
Right.
And, then it went on from there when I mean, here I am. But, I think that had I have had the opportunity for somebody to just say, hey, let me help you. Let me show you that once you're on Poshmark, you need to do this, this, and this.
Right.
And that would have prepared me, because honey, I tell you, nothing prepared me for all that sharing. I said it before, I say it again, all that sharing that I had to do. But once I got past it and I got there, then I was like, okay. But there's some little tweaks and things you can do in between, if you want to. I mean, Poshmark is kind of set up to where, you put your stuff on there, you share if you want to share, if you don't want to share, don't share. You can, it's an engagement app, really. You can engage if you want, not, and if you don't, we know someone who don't, so I'm gonna call it. But I mean, you can kind of run your business, and that's the thing about Poshmark for sure. You can run your business like you want to. You put as much energy into it. You can list it and forget it. You can list it and check on it all the time. Well, however you do, because mine fluctuates. Sometimes, I mean, I'm definitely on there every day. I'm definitely going there sometimes more than 2 or 3 times a day. But I also have other things that I need to do. Look, I definitely have other things I need to do.
Exactly.
So sometimes I just check email. I have get sales. Okay, that's cool. I go back in most times and say thank you for your business and all that. Because, that's just my style.
I was doing a happy dance because I just made a sale. My bad.
Oh, I know. I woke up too. I was like, but I hope that Ann and Joe continue to move forward in this. I hope that his business flourishes. I hope that Ann had a backup plan. And if she didn't, I hope she comes up with one real soon.
Her plan was to retire in 5 years.
But you know what?
The plan.
The one thing that I learned from NBA stars, because I say NBA because I love me some basketball, y'all. And the one thing I've learned from them, just over the years is, and I've watched them, how they take most of them, I'll say most of them, take their earnings and create separate businesses. Yeah. They always have a backup plan, specifically because they know that, falls move and they could be out the game completely.
Yeah.
So that's the method to their madness. But you know what? It's a good method because, I mean, knock on wood and sand and dirt and dust, that we could be Poshmark could go under tomorrow, and then what?
That's what y'all need to know. That's why
then what?
I'll list it to every platform on there, so I have an idea of how it works. So if one doesn't make it, I know how to transfer everything to the next one and keep it rolling. Because even with Amazon, they can suspend your account. Same with eBay, same with Posh, same with Mercari. You are on their platform. They control your money. So you have to have multiple streams of income. And my end goal is real estate. I am trying to build a pot to own real estate. Multiple places where there are rentals, and then I have a property manager that just takes care of them, and then me and my husband are on a new beach somewhere chilling. Like, that is the plan.
At first I thought you said a nude beach. I was like, that's too much information.
That's what I said.
You said a nude beach. Oh, that's what you. Okay.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. When my nipples are down to my ankles and all that fun stuff, I'm gonna be on the nude beach with my husband.
And I was like, at first, did she say nude beach? But child, honey, after weight loss, honey, I have to fold them up and stuff them in the bra.
Listen, when you get to a certain stage of life and a certain bank account level, you don't care. You say whatever, I don't care.
Whatever. But yes, Jules. Yes, Lisa. I always why do I always say Jules? But that's true.
Yes, me too.
You know that you have to build your own because the one thing that we do have to keep in mind is like you're saying. I mean, and Leslie, Resellers Passion has said this before herself. That we're just realtors.
Yeah.
We're not owners of that real estate, Poshmark, Macari, anywhere else. So I tell you that you have to just have a plan B, C, D, you need, because you just never know. And I tell you, I think about it often. Hey, Tasha, I think about it often because I'm like, wow, Poshmark is bae for me. I'm thinking I'm on Etsy as well, but I'm thinking I'm, gonna get off Etsy, put this kind of recreate my website or my landing page or whatever I'm gonna do, or get a Shopify or whatever and sell from that. Create my own website. I guess really is what I need to do.
Yeah,
and just put my things on there. That way I can just do what I need to do and move on. Because I just think that in the end that not only is it more profitable, but it belongs to you because you pay.
It does. And you have the customers, actually your customer. So when you send out a discount or have a sale, they get it in their email and they know, oh, let me go over to the pinkdivastudio.com and get my stuff, so yeah, y'all heard it. I spoke it into existence. It's the Pink Diva Studio.
I saw what she did there, y'all. I saw it. It did not escape me. But that this is what the Diva, but this is all under the Diva Empire and things that I want to do. That's why it's called the Diva Empire, because there's several umbrellas, that I got going, one being Pink Diva Studio, Brunch with Diva, all this merch that can come out, So I just, I be up behind the scenes working and thinking, y'all. Because we always want to grow. We want to continue to grow. And look, I might need to hit Joe up and say, hey, I need a little sponsorship. Can you help us with that?
What's up, Joe?
But it was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now I just completed
the Cat in the Hat.
Yes, you guys. I wanted to talk about the Cat in the Hat. Now, again, this is, hot topic Thursday. Is that now that the Cat in the Hat? Now, first of all, let me just say this. First of all, it was it's the Potato Head. So now Miss Potato Head is just Potato Head. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with either way because it is what it is. But now the Cat in the Hat, and they found out that the Cat in the Hat had some racist remarks. So I'm not sure what's going on. So now they're pulling, they're not going to keep reprinting them and things like that due to some racist comments. And I was like, well, now look, what was the racist comments at? Because I love me some good old Dr. Seuss, I do not like green ham, eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. I'm like, well, where was
I will not eat them in a tree. I will not eat them. Hey, we can keep going. We're not going to.
But I just think that this is just insane about not selling the books. But I also say this to say, this is that if you see those Dr. Seuss books, honey, pick them up.
Pick them up. Because they finna be fire.
A fire right now. People are. There's a posture that I know that she spent her time the other day tracking down Dr. Seuss books. So I'm saying this to say that I'm puzzled why Dr. Seuss is now being canceled, but I'm also saying this to pick up those books if you see them, because honey, it's just amazing to me. I'm like, now what's next? I mean, what we gonna cancel next? I'm really trying to look up and see the exact reason, but I do know that it said that it had some type of racist stereotypes. Now, I will say this: before, I was like a couple of weeks ago, I read that some of the old school cartoons were racist as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it only makes sense.
It's like, y'all don't remember what this was? I mean, this was back. I was watching these old school cartoons, which I still love, by the way. What was back in the early 70s? Of course, I'll say that because I was at least 10. So all of the stuff that went on there, I don't think anybody thought about that. But here we are
It was
again.
part of everyday life, and they couldn't do anything about it, so they just went along with it.
I guess. I just think that, now I think that we're just, not that I'm against, I just think that sometimes some things just have to be left as they are. I mean, because while I might see that now, but probably because you got my attention, because I was still over here cackling. Because I just enjoy the cartoons.
I just fixed my source and was like, you got some Cat in the Hat books? That's what I just did right now.
Right. And see, the thing about it is it said 6 of the Dr. Seuss books will no longer be published over offensive images. That's what it was. Offensive images. So
what books?
I was
they say which ones?
I'm looking right now. 6 Dr. Seuss books. In the statement, Dr. Seuss Enterprise said they had decided last year to end publication and licensing of the books by Dr. Seuss, and and to think that I saw it on a Mulberry Street, and the other one is
on Mulberry Street.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't never heard of that book. What book was that? So this book was 1937. And the other book is If I Ran the Zoo, which was in 1950.
I remember
and they said these books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. And I was like, well, Lord have mercy. The other books that will no longer be published are McElligot's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, and what? Scrambled Egg Super and The Cat's Quizzer. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I don't even know what those books are. I'm still back. I do like green onions and ham. I do not like them Sam I am. I'm still back with those books.
I will not eat them with the goat.
Right. So I said that to just bring it. I wanted to bring it up simply because I was just I always think she's a Chinese person.
Okay, so Asian people can't be in the book?
I'd have to see the book. I'm gonna have to dig deeper.
Terry, where is the book? Tell me what they said in the book that's inappropriate. Like, I'm confused. I don't have the book.
Okay, well, it says. Okay, here it is. It says, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, a character described as a Chinaman has lines for eyes, wears a pointed hat, and carries chopsticks and a bowl of rice. I was like, oh, that is kind of shady.
That is not. That's what.
That is kind of, because it is a little shady. Because first of all, you described him as a Chinaman, and then you just draw these lines for eyes, saying that they have those type of eyes. That's what
their eyes look like. Their eyes are different shape.
Okay.
How do I describe the shape of an eye of a person who has a different shaped eye than me? That's not offensive. I don't know.
Well, normally,
I want with a black person, and then maybe I'll be like, oh, I see it. I don't know.
Okay, well, here we go. It says, and if I ran the zoo, 2 characters from the African island of Zurka
I figured that was for the zoo.
Are depicted as shirtless, shoeless, and resembling monkeys.
They resemble monkeys? Oh, well, I mean, that's what they try to say about us all the time. So I figured when you said the zoo one, that's what was going to happen.
So, because during evolution, of course, we all were, not just Black people, but we all were, came from that whole design of monkey.
Right. If you believe that.
But, over a period of time, it was just like only the Black folks.
Right.
But that's not necessarily true. Because if you go back and you read, it's just the evolution of man, and that's what they call it. And they show pictures from the monkey stage to the man stage to more human till you see a human. So, because I remember that from back in the day in school, child, I had all the life books. If y'all don't know what those are, then y'all ain't as old as me.
I
But
so were they visitors at the zoo? I don't know.
I don't know. But it says in the recent years, they revealed the strong racial undertones in many books written by Dr. Seuss. And I was just like, I don't think that when kids read that this day and time, they even would care, that they even would form an opinion about that. I know when was reading Dr. Seuss, myself, to my daughter, to my granddaughter, I didn't think anything about it. I really just didn't.
But I also didn't read all these books. The zoo one, I remember. The Mulberry Street sounds familiar-ish, but I don't remember reading it. And then the rest of the ones that you named, I ain't never heard of them books.
Yes, you cannot call it a person a Chinaman. You cannot do that. That's just you can't do that. That's not
Asian
politically correct.
Well, back then there was no political correct, so that's what I'm trying to say. True. That was the terminology back then. I'm not saying it's right, it's wrong. All I'm saying is when the book was written, that is what they were saying about.
You're right, though, because back in the day,
didn't have another choice. Yeah.
So back in the day, they did use the word Chinaman. But of course, now we're living in a politically correct world. So then we have to be cautious of our wording and how we, describe people, and how, what stigma, we attach to a certain, person, race, or whatever.
So then
back then when I'm a kid, again, I didn't think about that. Do you think about I probably read that. It was not even thinking. I was just like, oh, they live in China. That's what I'm going to see. They live in China.
And so the books that they wrote that had the word midget, they're going to have to not use that, because now the correct term is little people. So now are we pulling those books when that was the proper and correct term then? Because the terms change all the time. What's appropriate and proper then is not going to be appropriate and proper now. So now I'm like, well, how does this work? If when I'm doing something, that is the appropriate and politically correct term, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, it no longer is. Now my work is invalid, and you're going to say I'm racist 50 years from now when I use the politically correct term for that time. That's my concern.
Right. And that's a good point, Terry. But yes, she is going to be spilling the tea on that, and I'm just anxious to really see that. Because I already knew, I'm just going to tell y'all this. I already knew when Sister Girl was going to enter this family, there was just going to be drama. I knew that she was not going to be happy with all the restrictions. I already knew that, because you have to follow specific protocol in the royal family. So I already knew, girl, you don't know what you're doing. I'm glad you're in love and you can love him, but you're not going to be happy all up there, up under all of that pressure that's going to be on you. And look, your mother-in-law couldn't take it. Princess Diana couldn't take it. She wasn't about that life. She was like, look, I'm out here. I'm trying to do what I need to do, and what I want to do. She, while she looked beautiful, she was always elegant. I loved Princess Diana. And I loved her even more after she decided, I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to do this interview because I want to, So she when she really became outspoken and all the things that she did and all that. So I done got off a whole tangent about Miss Diana, but whatever. I just think that Meghan is following those same things, because she realized she knew there was going to be some amount of pressure, but she didn't know how much. So I'm anxious to see that.
Know how much until you're there, to be honest. I mean, you have an idea.
She just thought she would have more support. She really thought she would have more support than what she had.
From who?
I guess, from Elizabeth's child. Honey, Elizabeth's like, look, this is my world. You just a squirrel. So
but she's the actual princess.
I mean, that's the queen mother.
Right.
Yeah, that's the queen mother. So I was happy that she was all in love. Her and Harry got married. I got up early to watch the wedding. I was all full support.
I never saw it.
Oh, I did that for Princess Diana too. I got up early and watched the whole thing. Me and my mom watched the whole thing. But what Terry was saying, and the N word was used all the time,
Right.
but Tom Sawyer got banned.
Right.
See, this is always issue is that, I can't even dig into this because we don't have that much time. But I'm just going to say that, if we continue to use it in front of others who shouldn't, we can't get mad at them because they do. Well, that was a slur as well as the N word, but people printing and ET did not care. Midget is different. No one was trying to be mean, and that was just what it was used. Yeah. I mean, that was the term that I learned years ago. And then, over some years back, it decided that you can't say that anymore. You have to call them little people. They have a whole show.
There's another term that some of them don't want to be called little people. I watch the documentary because that's all I do, boo. Well, other than make money. And they had another term
making money.
Right. That I can't remember. And so some of them want to be called little people and some of them want to be called something else. I can't think of it. And so you'd never know. Like, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to describe whatever is happening at that moment. And so sometimes you just try to avoid the whole topic because you just don't want to be. But I just think for great authors, writers, poets, artists, whatever, at some point, somebody's going to say your stuff is offensive and you're going to be labeled, rude, mean, inconsiderate, whatever it is. And your stuff is going to be out the door.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, in a changing world, and some people say that now we're just too sensitive to everything. That everything is an issue. Everything is a problem. You can't say this or you can't say that.
Right.
And I joke around with my friends and I'm like, you can't say that because that's offensive. And he will say, oh, well, that's not my problem. That's what they are. Because, he likes to use the R word, which is retarded. I don't like that word. But, I always try to say, that, someone's mentally challenged or,
right.
Physically challenged or whatever. I like to say that sometimes I'm cash challenged. But,
aren't we all in that boat? I mean, except for 1% of us.
Yes, and I think that, times just change and
that was a word you could use back then. Like, that was the word you used for people who were, mentally handicapped or whatever.
Yes,
that was the term.
That's what it was.
But
that's
now
the
it's
word.
not
that's the word.
The term.
Yes.
So
yes.
If you grew up then,
mentally handicapped.
Right.
But they do not want you to say that anymore. And, kids, like, I know at school with me, when I was in school, people just say, oh, you just retarded. And I mean,
right.
and I'm like, you are. And
right, just joking.
Right. But we're just joking around. And then,
but now it's special needs.
Once I was, got older and things, and you started using mentally retarded. Well, then you can't do that. So now you have to use, physically challenged or mentally challenged or special needs. Yes, they still use that. But you just think that you have to, and I do think that you have to be careful of how you address people, describe people, and things like that. And so my friend, he was like, I ain't about that life. I ain't about all that politically correct. I'm just going to say it like it is. Okay, well, I hope that you don't say it around someone who happens to be any of those things, because then you've offended someone.
And even if it just depends on where you are in the scale of things. Because if you're down on this scale, people are like, oh, he's rude, whatever. You get to this scale, it's like, oh, you gotta stop. You get up here, look at
that's it, baby. You can't say that.
Chris Jordan, I'm bad with names, y'all. What's that boy's name? The little short comedian. What's his name? Oh, come on, Rhonda.
That comes to mind. Kevin Hart, you said short.
Yes, Kevin.
Kevin Hart.
He got in trouble when it was years later. Everybody thought it was funny when he said it. Then years later, they was like, oh, we found this recording where you said this. And it's like,
yes. Oh, against the homosexuals. Yes.
Exactly. So at some point,
LGBT community.
Right.
So yes.
Because that was wrong.
There have been so many people who have said in the day about LGBTQ community, about, people of color or whatever. Now, and what kills me is that now here we are in 2021 and it's from back in 1980. Then people want to dig way. First of all, who has time to dig way back there to find dirt on somebody to bring to the, to try to crush them here in 2021?
Someone who ain't got nothing going on with their life, because I'm too busy. I'm trying to find more time just for me. She just said this Tom Sawyer books were banned from the library, and Dr. Seuss should be banned from the library as well. But you can purchase them if you want.
Yes, Tom Sawyer was another one, honey, and Tom Sawyer and what's that other one? Oh, Terry, I know you know what I'm talking about. Some Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh,
so first of all, the word Uncle Tom,
right?
I still, that's a term people still use today.
But you had to know that was going to happen because look. Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima, all that marketing has to go, which they was dead wrong. They ripped them families off. They should have paid those people. Like, they knew what they were doing. Like that, they definitely knew that they were exploiting families and people. I mean, you could have gone to Disney World and have a very voluptuous Black woman with her hair wrapped up serve you at Aunt Jemima's Cafe at Disney. Like, they knew that was wrong. Some of this other stuff,
they decided to revamp Aunt Jemima, honey, and give her a whole new look and bring her kind of more modern and up to date because, and then I think that they even talked about changing, altering the name. And I was like, well, what y'all gonna do? Just call her Jemima? Because that's still.
No. Well, Uncle Ben's, it's just something
Uncle Ben's
or something dumb. Yeah, they changed it to like the mill or something, and then people were mad about that. Terry, thank you for hanging out. Yes, we all about to get to making that money so we can all have our jet money.
Oh, I feel you. Yes, hunty. We're all working on that jet. But I just think I just think that over a period of time, I think right now, people are it's just coming to a place where they feel like, okay, we probably heard enough of this complaints. We probably heard enough of people saying we shouldn't do this, have this, make this packaging different, change the name of it, do whatever they can do to try to appease people who are upset by this, or it might be.
They were wrong from day one because you use somebody else's image and likeness, paid them nothing, then continue to prosper and make money off of that. Just like Clubhouse. I don't even use Clubhouse like that. Let me just tell you, like I made that video, you see me, no other videos you see, I'm not doing no Clubhouse rooms. I'm not, I don't participate because why was the gentleman on the Clubhouse app a man with natural hair, clearly of color? Then I find out the two owners they're not of color, only for the app image to change to a lighter. I said, okay, well, I'm not going to curse on YouTube and get the strike, but all y'all, blank all y'all.
Right. Oh,
So,
I didn't hear that. We'll have to elaborate on that later because I didn't. I'm not on
they used an image of a man of color to attract people of color when they're not people of color. The same thing they do with Aunt Jemima. Same thing they do with Uncle Ben's. No.
Okay.
Blank all of y'all and your mamas. So, no. I don't use Clubhouse.
Oh, yes, Christy. That's another one, honey. If we'd had time today, I would have talked about that as well because I watched The Bachelor this season. And I will say that I watched it to see how it would turn out because this was their first Black male on the show. Since the show they've only had one Black female and one Black male. And so I watched it because I wanted to know what was going on. But now, lo and behold, honey, here go Chris, the host. He done said some shady stuff. He done some shady stuff.
No.
And now he's out.
See, I don't watch TV like that.
Yeah. And now he's out because of all his shadiness. The front runner girl to win, get engaged to Matt found out she's shady. She had posted something. She gone to a plantation party. She said things back. Okay. So so people are looking like, well, why are you on here if you felt that way back here in 19 whatever, and here it is again, here we are. And does it make it right? Does it make it wrong? I mean, now I'm all for growth. So maybe back then she didn't know any better. Maybe she knows now. She's sorry for what she did. Okay, I really can't hold that against you, especially if I see growth and change in you.
Right.
But it's still the same thing. Here they are attacking her, and now he's gone because he clearly didn't understand. He didn't have any understanding of what he did wrong or said wrong. So they were like, "Oh, you got to bounce." You got to go.
He said, but who had a plantation party?
Well, there are such things as plantation parties. Now, I'm not sure they were held in Georgia or where they were held at, but there are certain things, certain plantation parties that went on. I had never heard. I had to look. I was like, "What is?" Because this is the second time I've seen something like that, where they dress up as Southern belles and they go to they're hosted at the party, the plantation. I don't know what goes on at the parties. I just thought it was like a little tea party, but clearly it's called a plantation party or something. So I think that changed the whole design of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to buy shutters for our house. And the ones I wanted, I didn't know what they were called. I was like, oh, I want these. They're so cute. They move up and down. But then on the title were plantation shutters. And I said, we won't be getting those. And we picked different ones. So.
But isn't that amazing how just one word can change your whole, you be down for something, you be down like, oh,
yes.
Oh no, I can't be doing that. I mean, because I can't tell you what it was right now, but it was something that happened. And I was like, oh no, I can't go for that because that brings, I tell you what it is. It's the word gal.
Oh, yes, you told me.
I despise the word gal. Because anytime I hear gal, I'm like, oh, yeah, and the word picnic. Yes, that one in particular, Chris. Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
I do know about that. I do know that story. But the word gal takes me back to every slave movie, every Roots series, every Mandingo movie. I mean, it takes me back to it takes me back to all of that. Because and I just can't stand it. I can't stand when people say that to me. Hey, gal,
Right. Because you have an experience that, brings you to like a negative place. So I get that. I get that.
But yeah, the word
topic was all over the place today.
I know.
They never know what they gonna get at the Swagslayer talk.
Baby, I just thought, look, let's talk about some hot topics because that's what's in the news. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
And I definitely wanted to bring attention to Dr. Seuss because I wanted my PFFs. If you see those books or whatever, grab them because trust me, somebody's going to want to own those books
for a good dollar. I'm texting right now, like, can I get these books? Like, I'm trying to make a deal right now. So.
Yes, honey. I tell you, another PFF, honey, she was like, I'm exhausted because I hunted down these books all day. That's all she did yesterday was hunt those books down. And I'm like, I'm not mad at you, honey. Get them. Get them while you can get them.
Yeah. Because and hold them for a little bit and then
hold on to them. And then maybe around Christmas, maybe, pull them out.
Even if you hold them 2 years, 3 years, because they'll be scarce and people are like, oh, where are they? Matter of fact, last topic before we end, because we have to respect the entrepreneur's time.
Right.
I went to my doggone Starbucks and they didn't have nothing.
I saw your picture and I was like, oh my God. But I'm going to tell you the key is that you must ask the barista about the cup.
I did.
Don't forget to ask. And so immediately people sold out of those cups because I saw a picture on Instagram and this woman had a cart full.
Wow. Do you know what the barista told me? When I said, hi, good morning. Did you happen to get XYZ in today? And she was like, it's not on the shelf. And I said, no. I said, but it comes out today. So I just figured maybe you didn't get a chance to put them out. I would like to get one. She was like, we don't control the inventory. I said, okay.
Okay, first of all, I'd still been at the Starbucks. But first of all, but you know what? This is why I said check your time zones, check your cities, because while it came out for me today, um, different cities and or different states different, and I
Right,
think that
right.
the drop is different. But I did know that there was a drop today. But
Yeah.
just like I also knew that other people had already had them and they live
Yes.
elsewhere. So
Yes.
you just kind of have to monitor your thing. So even when I do get them, I'm sitting on them. I'm just not going to put them up right now because now
Right.
it's almost time to take out the old ones that I have
And put those,
because
yes.
those are still selling too, darling. Because as I told you, I sold my pink one for $100.
I was trying
And
to
they
get
have
the new one. Go ahead.
yeah, and the new one I tell you is going like I sent that to the group. That new one is going for at least 150 right now. And if you have the tall and the they could both go. They together a pair. They could go up to 200
I couldn't get
for
not
both.
one. And I actually
Yep.
was trying to get one because I want to trade for the matte black is what I was trying to do. But I couldn't even get one. I was out in the Amazon streets hunting down Amazon stuff. I just happened to pass the Starbucks.
So, honey, sometimes it takes going from one Starbucks to the next, but I'm
True.
hoping that my Connect and I can get some from my Connect. That would be awesome
Yeah.
because that's how I got my other ones. And then I'm also trying to, work out another little deal on the side. So, because I'm trying to, get a hold of some. So if
Yes.
this proves successful, I got y'all.
Yeah. Once I get my hands on a good one, I'm just doing a trade for a matte black. That's what I want. But okay, so yeah, I just want a matte black. So I'm gonna trade somebody for the matte
Just
black.
you want the studded matte black or just a regular matte black?
If it's studded, it's not matte, right? Because the
No.
studs are shiny.
No, the black matte studded cup. That thing still goes for over $100.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to trade. Like that's why I'm trying to get my hand on a really good one and then trade
So,
somebody.
but then they have a smooth,
Oh
shiny,
no, I don't
and
want
then
the
they have a
smooth one.
smooth matte.
No, I don't want the smooth one. I want
You
the
want
one that
a
looks like
studded one,
jewels. Okay, so that
a
is
studded
studded.
one.
Okay. I don't know my terminology when it comes to the cups. My bad.
I'm on it, child. I'm on it.
Dear, we are talking about cups, Starbucks cups. So
The studded venti cups from Starbucks.
yeah,
They had a new drop this today here in Texas.
yeah, because
They dropped ours, and in some states already have theirs. So those
yeah,
cups again go from between. They can go as low as $65 and as
which is
high as
still
$200.
right because they
And
$20 a cup, so that's
yeah,
magic.
yeah. So, and I sold my pink one for $100, and I
Mm.
still have others that I'm about to pull out, honey. Except
Somebody
my
had a matte
rainbow.
black on eBay, but it was $40 plus shipping, and I was just like,
See, they
ooh.
wasn't really trying to make no money with that.
But I'm so cheap that I didn't even buy it. I was like $40 for because I'm just gonna drink it out of it just like this during the show. So I was like, that's kind of a lot.
I'm trying to get on it. Oh yeah, take some pics, Christy. Yes, honey,
Please.
I'm all about that life. I mean, like I say, I think I have like 6 of the rainbow cups. I think I
Mm,
have 2 of the silver studded. All of them are studded. I don't even
yeah.
fool with the rest unless the only ones I fool with are the ones like Marina posted that have
Oh,
the
the mermaid.
mermaids. Now, like I say, any unique Starbucks cup will sell.
It will. It
But
will.
hey, hello there, darling. What?
Oh,
Oh,
Christy in between stores.
in between. Is she shopping?
Yeah. Well, I think she in between Starbucks stores is what she's trying to tell us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, check them
Okay.
out and see. But anyway,
So
tomorrow we have
Derek from Fundamentals of side hustling. So make sure you're here tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to talk to him about his resale life, get to know him a little bit better. But most of all, we are so excited to hear his Amazon story.
I can't wait, honey. I want this tea because y'all, we've been talking about this all week, seems like. So now I need the tea.
Yes, he's going to tell us the goods, the bads, the uglies, the future of his Amazon life. So make sure you're here on time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I'm going to do my best not to be in them Amazon streets so I can be here on time.
Don't be in Amazon streets so you can be on time. I'm going to need you to be on time.
Back to the Amazon streets as soon as we get off this live. But thank you so much for hanging out, Slayers. Do not forget that we're here every week. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for Wednesday at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing What Sold Wednesday. And then Rhonda has her Brunch with a Diva at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram at the Pink Diva Studio. And then her new show coming up March 10th on YouTube at the Pink Diva Studio. What's the time again, Brenda?
Hump Day Happy Hour, honey. So it's audience participation to win prizes. Tiana and Nessa Lee will be my co-host, and we'll be having 3 awesome resellers on to talk about whatever. I mean, there is no script, there is nothing. We'll just, whatever drops on the table is what we'll talk about, and you know how we do it. We have different conversations in one whole hour. You know, it could be 5 or 6 different conversations. But you guys put it on your calendars. It starts next Wednesday, 4:30 Central Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. So you guys come hang out, win prizes, have fun, bring your drinks, your coffee, your milk, your tea, whatever it is you want to drink, honey. So I will appreciate everyone who showed up today, took time out of the day to come chit chat with Tiana and I.
Yes. And we'll see you tomorrow, Slayers, at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.